Welcome back. It is, by tomorrow when I post this, show day month, baby. Today is May 31st. Tomorrow is June 1st. June is show day month. Our first show is at the end of June. So we are 4 weeks out, guys. 1 month away from our first show of the 2025 season and 5 weeks away from hitting that national stage. So I'm going to give you guys like a little bit of a different one today. Honestly, didn't really have much of a plan for this week. I've showed you guys all the workouts, showed you guys a full day of eating, a day in the life, all that good stuff. So this week, just going to talk, and I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of info, give you a little bit of the mindset update. At the end of the video, at the end of the day, I'm going to talk about my realistic goals and expectations for this year that I haven't really talked about open and honestly yet. But we're going to talk about all that good stuff later. I'm going to walk you through everything I've done in my prep so far, how I get shredded, how I adjust the check-ins each week based on my weight in the photos. I'm going to give you guys all that good stuff so you know exactly how I get in the shape I get for show day. All right, so here we are. We just got to the gym. This idiot was trying to parallel park. Was just waiting, watching him back up, ready to hit my car. He called it quits, he pulled out, and he left. Get out of here, get away from my car, dude. Let's talk about the good stuff. So, this morning, 4 weeks out, I actually saw my weight increase 1 pound. I was 191.6 this morning today, but that follows the trend of how it's been going throughout prep because I do a 2-week carb cycle. So this is the week where on Thursday, 2 days ago, I had my high carb day. So I'm usually a little heavier, a little waterier on my check-ins on the second week. The week before, like last week, I go pretty much like 6-7 days without a high day before I do the check-in. So weight is usually a little bit lower. So that's all consistent. That's all good. But how we judge the pictures is we literally take the side-by-side picture. We look at what it was last week, right? We check it out, and then we swipe to the next week, and we're looking at every single aspect. I'm looking at the legs. Are there any new lines? Are there any new veins? Are there any new striations? Looking at my chest. I'm looking at my abs. I'm looking at every single thing to see if there's any new details out to make sure that we're moving in the right direction. And usually week by week there is, so we know we're moving in the right direction. Even on a week where my weight was up today, it's not like I really looked fatter or waterier. I just looked a little bit fuller, but I actually had that same level of conditioning, which is great. So weight's like 191.6 right now. At this point in the prep, the weight will start to like taper a little bit. It won't move as quick as it does in the beginning, which is usually what happens anyways, but that's all good stuff. So now we're going to talk about cardio. We're going to go through how I've adjusted cardio and food real quick throughout this prep. So I have a file on my computer too that I punch it all into, but I also have the notepads here. So you can kind of see weekly plan and structure. So from 12 to 10 weeks out, all I started with was 30 minutes of treadmill 5 days a week. Now before that, I had the torn hamstring, so I would normally probably start the cardio higher, but I was doing no cardio before that, so I don't want to put so much stress on the body. Everything in small increases and decreases throughout prep, always. Less stress that way. So we just did 30 minutes of cardio, pretty much what I was doing before I tore the hamstring, and we slowly build from there. So for 2 weeks, I keep it at the 30. Then from 10 to 9 weeks, I go to 35 minutes. From 9 weeks out, now I'm like, all right, we could start pushing it a little bit more. We get to the stairs, so we do the same time, 35 minutes, but now the Stairmaster is a little bit more intense than the treadmill, so that's going to increase the amount of calories we're burning in that time, even though it's the same. And then we pretty much, at this point, this is where I threw in my fat burner, my metabolism really started going. I pretty much ripped 35 minutes on Stairmaster all the way till recently. So now, this week, we're doing our last Stairmaster session today. I am doing a 6 session today. So this week we bumped it to 6. I usually skip this 6 session on Saturday. We're going to do it today. And then next week, we are back to the treadmill. So a little easier intensity to reduce the fatigue, reduce the stress, start to let the body relax a little as we're coming to those final weeks, but we're upping the time to 40 minutes. So we're still gonna be burning relatively the amount of same calories with less stress on the body, which is all beautiful for the last couple weeks. Now, as far as food goes, I do my high days, my medium days, and my low days. Food pretty much started on my medium days around 3,200. Now I'm at the point where my medium days, as of today, is like 2,550, 2,600 calories. But again, we're keeping protein exactly the same, nice and high. We don't want to lose muscle. We keep the fats consistent. They change a little bit based on the high days and the low days, all that, but pretty much consistent. And then our carbs just slowly start to drop. So as our cardio increases throughout the week, we start to decrease the carbs little by little. We're only decreasing about 100 total calories each week if we're going to decrease, which equates to about 25 grams of carbs. So if I was eating 300 grams of carbs, I decrease it 100 calories. Now I'm eating 275 grams of carbs. So not going to give you all the carb amounts on every single day right now, but most of my days, medium days, are about 2,600. So not too bad, because I really didn't need to drop food too much for a couple weeks. Now we're in those final phases, final push. So I had a small drop last week. Might do another small drop this week. Might just adjust my low day because my medium days seem to be moving the needle. But we'll probably remove a little bit of carbs from that low day just to really keep it pushing, because we are digging for our absolute best conditioning ever at this show. Now, the good thing is, at this point in prep, last time in November, only a couple months ago, I was like 183, 182. So I'm a good 8-9 pounds heavier right now in prep than I was at this point 4 weeks out, my last show. And I would even say the conditioning is even better. So it's all good stuff. It's all good news. We are on track. We are moving in the right direction. When I see that, it makes you feel fantastic, keeps you motivated to keep on pushing, even though we're definitely getting to the point in prep where, like, we're getting tired, we're becoming irritable. People ask me a million questions about, oh, why is prep so hard and up? Like, I don't have the energy to explain to you something that you're never going to need to do. Like, if you do it, you understand it. If you don't, you just don't understand. Like, most people are never going to understand this process. So definitely getting to that point, energy is getting lower, a little more irritable. You get idiots on the road cutting you off, speeding past you. Annoys you just a little bit more, but we got to woosah. Remember, take a deep breath. It's all okay as long as we are looking crispy, full, and at our best, baby. But that's enough talking for now. We'll talk a little bit about training after the workout. Gonna do my hamstring workout at Pro Body, but not gonna show you any workout for today. All mindset, all the thinking behind the process, how we get in our best shape for the show. But let's go train. I'll see you guys after the workout. All right, and we are all done with the workout. Phenomenal workout. I mean, damn, I just been smashing these hamstrings in this off season and in this prep. Work on the things that we know help us already, and we stick to the foundational stuff. Yeah, we might veer off, go from a regular barbell to the Smith. Like, instead of doing regular barbell deficit stiff leg deadlifts, I've been doing the Smith now recently. It's a little bit more stabilized, a little bit more stability, especially as our joints are getting drier in the last couple weeks. So that's the big key here. As we are dieting hard, as we get low body fat levels, your joints are not hydrated. They don't have enough water. They don't have enough nutrients, so they get dry. Why is this a bad thing? Because drier joints are much more susceptible to injury. And then once we get to about 3.5, maybe 2 weeks, we kind of see how we feel. Then we start to bring the volume down. Intensity stays the same, but maybe instead of doing 2 top sets of 275 on stiff leg, I just do 1 of those sets. We're gonna go tanning. We're gonna get this protein shake down right now. Tan, go home, all done for the, not really. I'm gonna go home,
chill for a little bit. We got to do the editing and all that tonight. I'm going to go to my sister. My sister had her little one last week, a little baby Stella. She is now my niece, officially an uncle. So very exciting stuff. I'm going to enjoy a little bit of family time tonight later. We're going to go over to her apartment right in town, spend some time with my grandparents, spend some time with the niece, spend some time with everybody, have some dinner, and enjoy life a little, because that's what matters at the end of the day, baby. I wouldn't be able to do without my family. So close off, outro, mindset, and goal update. Once we get a little food in and we could start thinking straight again. See you soon.
Done and dusted for the day. We just ate our bison meal. That little bit of pineapple. Oof. That meal just saves us for the day. Not a lot of carbs in it at this point. We have 140 grams of rice on a medium day. So not a lot of carbs, but the extra fats in the bison really help you kick back into gear. So that's it. Really don't have much else for you guys. Let's talk about the good stuff, though, which you guys have been all waiting for, because I don't really talk about it much. The mindset and the goals. Nationals, it's a different ball game, and I know that. I've qualified 3 times for nationals, but I didn't go yet for a reason. The level of guys is just drastically different. But for this year, this first shot at nationals, I just want to see where I stand. I want to stand next to the best of the best. I want to stand next to those guys who are going to win the pro card that day. And I want to see how far off I am and how I compare. If I nail it the way I think I'm going to, if I am on the money, glutes and hamstrings diced, peeled to the bone, which I haven't had yet, but I'm going to have it this time, really think I could crack into that top 10 at nationals at my first show ever coaching myself. And that would just be, I would be like absolutely ecstatic to place top 10. Now, dream come true, we somehow fight our way into that first call out. Now that's like overachiever goal. Listen, I'm realistic with it. Like winning the pro card this year, it's probably going to be a far stretch. Now that first show that I have in 4 weeks, the regional, this is the tricky one, because I'm going to win it. Like, of course I'm going to win it. Here's the thing about this first show. It is one of the bigger regional shows of the lower level shows, the Garden States. And it is the last show before the NPC universe. So it's the last show to qualify for this year's universe. So the past 2-3 years, the guy that did the Garden States and won in Classic Physique, won the overall, won the whole thing, went to nationals the next week, won their class, won their pro card. So you might get a couple of those guys, or one of those guys that shows up to that lower level show that just knows they're going to smash the floor with it and win the whole thing. But that's what I'm coming to do. I'm coming to be that guy. I'm going to win that first show, and we're going to make our mark, and we're going to crack into that top 10 at nationals. That is the plan. That is the goal. That is the mindset. You got to be realistic with yourself, but you got to have faith and confidence. At the end of the day, this is bodybuilding, guys. I cannot control who the judges like on that day, how they place you, and how they judge you. The only thing I could control is how I show up, the work I put in now to get me to show day on the stage and look my absolute best. That is the best and only thing you can do. Control what you can control. Get upset over the things that you can't control. So 4 weeks, guys. We're almost there. It's almost crunch time. So now you know the mindset. Now you know the goals. We're going to continue along this journey. We got 4 more weeks of this, so we got more vlogs coming, more workouts, more day in the life, more full days of eating. So you know how we do it here. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like. Hit that notification bell. Share it to your friends. Show it to your family. You know the deal. Stay shredded. Stay huge. Let's fucking go.